Ladies and gentlemen, warriors of the spirit, listen closely. They will tell you be logical, be safe, be reasonable. But let me ask you, where has reason ever built a revolution? Where has safety ever sparked a miracle? The people who change the world are the ones who dare to love beyond logic and live beyond fear. Love and madness, they are not enemies, they are twins, born from the same fire that burns in the soul of every dreamer, every believer, every warrior who dares to chase something bigger than themselves. You see, love isn't just roses and promises. Love is war. Love is work. Love is the willingness to look stupid in front of the whole world because your heart says, this is worth it. And when you chase something with that kind of fire, the world will call you mad. They called it madness when a man said he could light the world with a bulb. They called it madness when a woman said she would fly through the sky. They called it madness when a preacher dreamed of freedom, standing on the steps of Washington. But that madness, that was love in motion. That was courage disguised as chaos. That was a heart that refused to live in the cage of normal. Let me tell you something. The ones who love enough to be called crazy are the ones who change the world. Not the quiet ones, not the safe ones, the ones who weep over injustice, the ones who fight for a dream no one else can see. Those are the chosen ones. So if your heart is beating for something so big, it scares you good. If your dream makes you wake up at night with fire in your chest, good. If people look at you and say, you're out of your mind, tell them, you're right. I'm out of your mind because I'm in my purpose. Let love drive you. Let madness carry you, because love without fire is just a whisper, and this world needs a roar. So roar. Fall in love with something worth fighting for and go mad chasing it. Because the ones who are crazy enough to love without limits are the ones who make the impossible possible. Love is not just a feeling, it's a force, a raw, unstoppable energy that moves mountains and transforms lives. It isn't soft, it isn't passive, love is active. It is fierce, it is the driving power behind every great act in history. Love built homes, started revolutions, created nations, and healed generations. It is not a gentle whisper. It is the thunder that shakes the soul awake. When you love something, a person, a purpose, a dream, truly love it, you'll fight for it with everything you've got. Love makes you resilient. It makes you brave. It silences fear because your heart refuses to back down. Love doesn't need permission. It doesn't wait for the perfect time. It moves now. It acts now. It risks now. And that kind of love doesn't fade. It fuels you when everything else says give up. Love isn't just what you feel. It's what you do, no matter the cost. Madness is what the world calls courage when it doesn't understand your vision. People fear what they can't explain, and when you move with a fire they've never felt, they label it insanity. But deep down, it's not madness, it's clarity. It's a heart so aligned with purpose that it no longer obeys the rules of doubt and limitation. The moment you decide to live for something greater than yourself, to chase something that doesn't yet exist, you will confuse people. They'll laugh, they'll warn you, they'll shake their heads, but don't you dare stop, because that madness is actually your breakthrough in disguise. It's the courage to build when nothing is there, to speak when no one's listening, to keep walking when the path disappears. What they call madness today, they'll call genius tomorrow if you stay the course. Don't apologize for your vision. Protect it, fuel it, walk boldly in it, because courage always sounds crazy before it becomes real. The line between genius and madness is drawn by those too afraid to feel. Society loves labels because they make the extraordinary easier to dismiss. When someone feels too deeply, loves too passionately, or dreams too wildly, the world rushes to call it madness, not because it is, but because it makes them uncomfortable. Genius lives where emotion meets action. It's born from obsession, from the refusal to settle for the average. But that intensity, that fire, often scares those who have silenced their own hearts. They call it unstable, irrational, extreme. But what they don't see is the discipline behind the passion, the sleepless nights behind the ideas, the courage behind every wild choice. The difference between a breakdown and a breakthrough often comes down to belief, the belief in something bigger than you. So don't shrink for their comfort. Let them call it madness. You keep building, because genius isn't always polite sometimes. It screams through the chaos. If you've never been called crazy, maybe you're not dreaming big enough. Playing it safe has never created legends. The ones who go down in history are the ones who dared to think differently, live loudly, and believe in the impossible. When your dreams shake people's understanding of what's normal. They'll call you insane, not because you are, but because you remind them of what they gave up on. Being called crazy is a sign that you're stepping outside the limits others have accepted. It means you're aiming higher than most are willing to reach. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's lonely, but it's also powerful. Because that label, crazy, is often just fear in disguise. Fear of your boldness, fear of your courage, fear of your relentless belief. So wear it like armor. If they call you crazy, smile and keep going. Because the world has never been changed by the ones who played it safe, only by the ones who didn't flinch when it got uncomfortable. Love without boundaries leads to miracles. The moment you stop measuring how much you give, how much you feel, or how much you sacrifice, something shifts. Real love, love that changes lives, moves hearts, and breaks generational chains, never keeps score. It pours itself out completely, without hesitation or condition. When you love without holding back, without protecting your ego or expecting a return, you unlock something sacred. That kind of love moves people. It heals wounds that words can't reach. It builds bridges where walls once stood. Love without boundaries is not weak. It's the strongest force on earth because it risks everything. It says, even if I'm hurt, I will love again. Even if I'm misunderstood, I will stay true. That love is rare. It's radical, but it's also the birthplace of every miracle you've ever seen, because miracles don't come from caution. They come from hearts that leap first, trust fully, and refuse to stop giving, even when it doesn't make sense. Real love, real passion always looks a little insane to the world. It's not neat, not quiet, not easy to explain. It burns too hot, moves too fast, and refuses to be boxed in by logic. When someone is driven by true passion, their actions seem extreme, their commitment looks reckless, and their focus feels obsessive. But that's because the world is used to half-hearted efforts and lukewarm feelings. Passion disrupts that. Real love doesn't just whisper sweet words. It roars through sacrifice, persistence, and fierce loyalty. It makes you do things you swore you never would, go places you never imagined, and believe in something no one else can see. To outsiders, it looks like madness, but to the one in love, it's clarity, it's purpose, it's everything. And the truth is, if your love or your passion doesn't scare a few people, if it doesn't stretch you beyond your limits, then maybe you haven't really tapped into how powerful it can be.